Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Sami here. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto gets a bloodline from Shinigami, part 3. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please subscribe to our channel, and like this video. So let's get into the video. It has been 5 days since Kakashi nominated Team 7 for the Chunin exams. And Naruto has been making the most of it. Every morning Naruto creates 200 shadow clones to do the water walking and tree climbing exercise, adds 15 pounds to his weights, runs 20 laps around the Forest of Death and Konoha. 500 push-ups with a boulder on his back, 500 sit-ups, a new chakra control exercise where he balanced on a kunai with one finger by himself, and sword exercises using his clones. At noon Naruto meets Hayate at Ichiraku Ramen. They eat lunch, without Naruto making him broke, and train until night. And at night Naruto visits Abusa and Haku for dinner. He talks to them about random stuff, and asks for some tips on training. The next day was the same, only Naruto actually mastered Dance of the Crescent Moon, surprising Hayate and himself. Well, Naruto cough, you surprised me by cough, mastering this very complicated technique. I must cough say I'm impressed. Hayate said coughed. Hayate sensei, I just practiced a lot. Naruto said sheepishly. Yeah, well, enough of this, cough, take the rest cough of the day off, cough. Yes, Hayate sensei. Damn it, it's only 3 o'clock, what am I supposed to? Naruto and another person fell to the ground, but they both got up, and Naruto saw the 3 people that would change his life forever. The first one was a heavily muscled male who was at least 17 and 6'3", with blue hair that went down to his waist, and piercing green eyes. He wore a white shirt with the sleeves ripped off, with his forehead protector secured on his left bicep, along with baggy black pants. He also wore brown combat boots with iron greaves, but what startled him was he had heavy iron handcuffs around his wrists. The second one was a female who looked 17 as well, and stood at 5'4". She had silky shoulder-length brown hair and brown eyes. She wore a white shirt with a blue snowflake covering her C-cup bust, and her forehead protector was tied around her neck. She wore black pants that held her kunai holster on her right leg, and black shinobi sandals. She also wore what looked like a belt hanging loosely round her waist, was actually wire. The last person was a male who looked to be a year older than him with snow-white hair that went down to his back, and was 5'7". He wore black combat boots along with black cargo pants with his kunai holster on his left leg. He also wore a black shirt and black gloves. All of this was partially covered with a snow-white cloak. He wielded a pitch black with a pitch black sheath, but the most surprising thing about this guy was that his eyes were covered with white medical tape, and his forehead protector, and 2 scars were going down his cheeks where his eyes were supposed to be. I'm sorry I bumped into you, said the girl. Hey, it's no problem, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Who are you guys? Asked Naruto. Kazuma Arashi, said to the guy in the cuffs. Hikari Ami, said the girl. Sanosuke, said the blind guy. Well, from what your forehead protectors say, you're from Snow Country, am I correct? Yes, answered Kazuma. And you're here for the Chunin exams? That's right, Hikari replied. Well, I wish you luck later, Naruto said, and ran off. Zabuza's house. Naruto arrived at Zabuza's house earlier than expected, but it was okay with him, and let him talk to Haku. After dinner Naruto went to talk to Haku alone, and he surprised her. Haku-chan, I know we know each other for a short time, but I was wondering if I could take you on a date. Naruto asked with all the courage he could muster. Yes, I would love Naruto-kun, Haku answered. Really? Oh, I mean I'll pick you up at 7 tomorrow, later Haku-chan. Naruto said, then left the house. He ran so fast it would make Guy cry. The Forest of Death. Naruto was in his house in the Forest of Death preparing his date with Haku. He was dressed smartly in loose black slacks, with a black sports jacket and an open-necked white shirt. Held in his right hand was a bouquet of red roses, all supplied by Shinigami. Damn, I'm so nervous. Shinigami-sensei, do you have any advice? Naruto asked. Yeah, don't screw up. Thanks a lot. What about you, Kyuubi-sensei? You guys suck. Haku, and Zabuza's house 7 o'clock. He began to sweat profusely when the front door opened to expel Haku. His breath hitched when he saw her. She was wearing a pink silk kimono. She had very little makeup on, just enough to accent what was already there. Her hair was down, reaching past her shoulder blades like the day he met her in the woods. She smiled slightly when she saw him. So, what do you think? Well, damn. She giggled lightly. So I take it that you approve. Yes, I do. Oh crap, I almost forgot, these are for you. He brought the flowers forward, and noticed the way her eyes lit up when she saw them. She squealed, grabbing the flowers, and holding them to herself. These are my favorites, how did you know? Lucky guess. After Haku put the flowers in some water, she grabbed Naruto's arm, as he led her through the village. Soon, though, she began to get confused. Naruto was walking past all of the restaurants in the village, even his ramen stand. Naruto-kun, where exactly are we going? Lonnie smiled mysteriously. You'll see. It's one of the places I like to go when I have a lot on my mind. After another 5 minutes, they entered a heavily wooded forest. The forest didn't last long, though, before breaking away to reveal the top of the Hokage monument. Haku gasped. The sight was beautiful. The lights of Konoha, mixed in with the moon and stars of the sky, made the area seem so enchanting. Naruto gently led her to the edge of the cliff, where a picnic basket was waiting. Unfolding and spreading a blanket, he sat down next to Haku and handed her a plate. She smiled amusingly. So, dear sir, what would be on the menu tonight? Naruto smirked. Tonight we have beef kebabs, dango puddings, homemade stir-fry, fried, and steamed rice, non-alcoholic wine, and for dessert, a chocolate cake. Remember, Naruto was never an idiot. Haku gaped at him. Where on earth did you get all of this food? Naruto chuckled. Well, I got everything, but the wine from my own recipes. The wine I got was stolen from an old man named Hokage. You made all of this yourself? Haku asked. Well, yeah. Even though I eat ramen a lot, I had to learn to cook at a young age in order to feed myself. Soon, though, I found myself enjoying it more and more, though I rarely get a chance to practice. He admitted. Unsure of the food, due to the boy's admitted negligence in practicing, Haku nonetheless grabbed a kebab and tentatively bit into it. Her eyes whitened immediately. My good Kami. This is delicious. Naruto smiled. Well, I'm glad you like it. I just hope the rest of my cooking gets the same review. She did. In fact, all of the food Naruto had made was gone fairly quickly. The blonde was amazed at the sheer amount Haku could eat, while still maintaining her slim figure. When the food was done, Naruto summoned a few clones to pick up the mess, while he led Haku by the arm and walked her to a pond. Naruto-kun, why are we at this pond? Well, Haku, have you ever heard of ice skating? Yes, but why are we here? Haku asked. Simple, you use your bloodline to freeze the pond. Naruto replied. Still a little confused, Haku activated her bloodline and froze the pond. After she did, she asked how they were going to skate. Naruto just used the shadow clone jutsu and transformed them into skates. They skated for 2 hours, which they both liked very much. Then he led Haku by the arm and walked her to her house. Along the way, they made simple small talk before arriving at Haku's house. The girl looked fairly nervous as she turned to face Naruto. Thank you for a wonderful night, Naruto-kun. I've had the most fun ever in my entire life. Naruto grinned, glad to be of service, ma'am. Haku rolled her eyes, but had a slight smile on her lips. Well, I suppose I should head on in, but first, I'll need something from you. What could I have that you would need, Haku? Naruto asked. First of all, call me Haku-chan. And secondly, this. Before Naruto could react, she grabbed the back of his head and pulled him into a kiss. Naruto was shocked at first, but eventually gave in, his eyes closing, as he deepened the kiss. Haku was bursting inside, as she finally managed to kiss the boy she'd been admiring for quite a while now. She noted that he tasted slightly like miso ramen, but that was okay with her. Naruto, on the other hand, found that Haku tasted like a vanilla, one which he was unable to place. He didn't let it deter him, though. He just figured that he would have to get more practice until he was able to figure out what the taste was. Judging from his date's reaction so far, he didn't think she would mind. After a minute or two, the two broke away, gasping for air. Naruto, as usual, was the first to recover. Wow, that was great. Haku, her face flushed, giggled. I'm glad you liked it, Naruto-kun. However, I have to get to bed. But I tell you what, I'll let you practice some more tomorrow, okay? Naruto nodded eagerly, before kissing her on the cheek and heading off with a rather loud and enthusiastic goodbye. But what he did not know was that Sabusa was watching. Naruto's house. Damn kid, I didn't think you had it in you. An astonished Kyuubi said. Neither did I. Well, now that you have Haku's heart, you now need to focus on that Hyuga girl. You've been neglecting her lately. Shinigami said in a big brother tone. Well, wait a minute, Shinigami-sensei, how can I date two girls? It wouldn't seem fair to both of them. You see, Naruto, you undoubtedly know that you are almost the last of your clan. Because of this, it is a requirement that you practice polygamy, said Shinigami. Naruto raised an eyebrow in question. I can see you don't understand. What it means is you are to take on multiple wives. Naruto blinked a couple of times as this was said. What? You can have both of them, you idiot. I'm going to bed. It was the day of the Chunin exams, and Naruto couldn't be any happier, because he would finally show everyone what he's made of. Team 7 arrived at the building, and started to walk to room 301 until Naruto heard people shouting, and woke up to see some unimportant Genin team shouting at some Chunin to let them through to 301. Sakura was about to tell them that they're only on floor 201, but Naruto put his hand in front of her. Sakura looked at Naruto confused, sighing, as Naruto answered her. It's a test to weed out weak Genin. We'd be fighting useless battles if they were here. Sakura didn't say anything. He knew that she understood. 15 minutes later, most of the teams had left. Signaling to Sasuke and Sakura, Naruto walked over to the two Chunin and pushed them aside, ignoring their threats of battle. He kept walking even when he heard them charge. They both leaped into the air intent on punishing him for pushing them aside. Naruto stopped, but stood there with his hands in the pocket of his trench coat. They were about to hit him when a bandaged hand came out and caught both of their legs. Bushy brows appeared out of nowhere and stopped their attacks. Not wanting or caring about what happened next, Naruto just walked away. Sasuke gets his ass beat by Lee. I'm not writing the scene because it scared the crap out of me. Naruto waited for 15 minutes until the door opened, as did Sasuke and Sakura, with Sasuke complaining about getting his ass kicked. Ignoring this, Naruto walked in and saw that there must have been 100 or more people there to take the exams. And he saw that they were all staring at him. What the fuck y'all looking at? Naruto asked. Most of them kept staring, but some of them turned away. Hey Naruto, shut up will ya? Naruto inwardly groaned when he turned around and saw Team 8 and Team 10 standing there. Before he could reply, Ino grabbed Sasuke's arm and started talking to him. Sakura interfered, and she and Ino started bickering over who was Sasuke's girlfriend. Shikamaru was muttering something about troublesome girls, and Chaoji and Shino were arguing about a dumb bug on the floor. And Naruto was hitting on Hinata, who was blushing redder than a tomato even though they dated before. Then some boy that was much older than them told them to pipe down, because they already had quite an impression. Hearing this, the rookie 9 minus Naruto looked around to see that everyone was staring at them. The boy then said that his name was Kabuto, and that they didn't want to get on anyone's bad side. Kabuto then said that he'd taken the exam 7 times, so he knew how bad it was because everyone was on edge. A few minutes later, Kabuto pulled out a deck of cards and told the rookie 9 that he had info on hundreds of ninjas. Sasuke, who was closest to him, asked if Kabuto would show him info on some ninjas. Naruto was barely listening, but he heard the names of the ninjas that Sasuke wanted to know about. Sasuke was excited that he would get the stats and skills of the ninjas that he would beat. There's Rock Lee of the Leaf, Gaara of the Sand, and Naruto Uzumaki of the Leaf, he said. When Sasuke said those names, Naruto almost exploded because of Sasuke's ego. Hey Sasuke, I don't know why you want to get info on me or Gaara, because we don't give a rat's ass about you. Besides, I'm on your team. What could you possibly want to know about me that you don't already know? Stop being so nosy. Instantly Sakura and Ino ran over to him and started shouting at him to apologize to Sasuke right now. Sasuke on the other hand tried to keep his cool, but was failing. So he decided to ignore everyone except Kabuto. Kabuto flipped his hands through the stack of cards, coming up with 3. Let's see. Gaara of the Sand. 8 C ranked missions, him even 1 B ranked mission. I don't have much else on him, just that he has returned from every mission without a scratch. The Genins looked up and around till they spotted Gaara, who was sitting between Temari and Kankuro. Sasuke looked back at Kabuto. What about the others? He asked. Rock Lee is a year older than you guys. Mission history. 20 D rank, 11 C rank. His sensei is Gaimaido. His Sujutsu has improved greatly in this year, the rest is nothing impressive. This is his first exam with his teammates, Niji Hyuga and Tenten. What about the dobe? Kiba asked. Let's see, Naruto Uzumaki, he's the dead last of the class. Mission history. 7 D rank, 1 C rank, 1 B rank, and 1 A rank. His skills suck, the only thing that changed about him was his clothes. Sasuke and Sakura knew about the D, C, and A ranked missions because they were there. However, they didn't know about the B ranked mission and demanded to know when he did it. That must have been when I beat Mizuki defected from the village. Didn't think the old man would make it a B ranked mission, he explained. Before anyone could say he was lying, smoke appeared and a voice yelled out. Alright maggots, listen up. Suddenly a man appeared wearing a standard Jounin uniform, but with a black trench coat covering it up. He also had a bandana covering his head. My name is Ibiki Marino, and I'll be your protector for the first exam, which is a written one for those who don't know. Now everyone please select a number, and then go inside the room, and sit at the designated seat. 10 minutes later everyone had a number, and was seated. Naruto was so busy thinking about the test that he didn't notice someone sitting down beside him. Hey, Naruto-kun, the person said. Naruto looked over at the person sitting beside him, and said, Hinata, how have you been? She smiled at him nervously. I'm good, how about you? Naruto smiled back at her. I'm fine, so what do you think about this exam? Hinata thought about his question before answering. I think it'll be easy. Naruto laughed. Yeah, you're right, these weaklings can't stand against us. Thanks, Naruto-kun. Hinata thought with a blush. Both of them kept talking, completely ignoring everyone's stares and complaints that they couldn't hear the proctor explain the rules. When one of them did complain, Naruto told him to shut the fuck up, gave him the 1-finger salute, and gave him a small dose of killing intent that only he could feel. 5 minutes later they were whispering to each other despite the fact that they were taking the test. Naruto was holding Hinata's hand under the table, while he got the answers from Kyuubi. Hinata and Niji used their Bakugan using a miner to cover their veins. Sasuke used his Sharingan and copied from a Chunin disguised as a Genin. Sakura used her oversized brain to get the answers, then Ino used her mind transfer jutsu on her, then used it on her teammates, and gave them the answers she stole from Sakura. Shino gathered information using a bee. Bara used his sand to create the third eye. The sound genin used sound vibrations from the taping of the pencils. Kiba used Akamara in some way. How the hell could they get away with that, especially in their own village who know what the Onizuka can do with their dogs? Tenten used mirrors. How the hell did she not get caught? They were in plain view, how could they not see that? To give the answers to Lee. King Kuro used his puppet Crow to take him to the bathroom, and later gave his answers to Tamari. And the Snow Nins used their test to the 45-minute mark. According to the paper, that was the time that Ibiki gave out the 10th question. Eyes flickered from the paper to the scowling instructor, as they waited for him to begin talking. So, Ibiki said, it seems that we have some regular bookworms here. Or, some very good cheaters. At that, almost the entire room flinched. The exception was Sakura, who was thinking, I wonder who was dumb enough to cheat. So now it's time for the 10th question. But first, another rule. At that, the genin stiffened. You must choose whether to accept or reject this question. If you choose to reject this question, you will instantly lose all points, and you and your team will fail immediately. Tamari spoke out. But then what's the point? Why would anyone actually reject the question? A sadistic grin crossed Ibiki's features, as he said, because of what happens when you take the question and get it wrong. If you do, then you will never be allowed to test for Chunin again, and will be a genin for the rest of your life. Almost everyone in the room began sputtering. But we know there are people here who have taken the test lots of times, and they got to the second or third round. Shouted out. Another sadistic smirk passed the torturer's face. It sucks for you guys that this is my first year as a proctor. One stupid genin raised his hand to quit, then a lot of people started quieting, and this went on for 2 minutes until they stopped. For all those remaining, you pass. Ibiki shouted. The exclamation was met with looks of shock, indignation, and in Naruto's case, amusement. The scarred proctor went on to list reasons extremely similar to inner Naruto's reasoning. Congratulations, Ibiki said, as he counted down mentally. 3, 2, 1, now. As he thought now. The windows in the back of the room shattered, and a black bowl rolled through. It extended out into a banner at the front of the room, reading Anko Mitarashi, second examiner. And that's exactly who stood in the center, a woman with purple hair and gray eyes. She was wearing a skin-tight fishnet and an orange miniskirt. Okay maggots. I'm your second proctor, Anko Mitarashi, and now, she said, all the genin leaning forward in anticipation, it's time for a head count. The crash of furniture and a number of grunts met that announcement, as almost all of the genin fell face first on the floor. Ibiki, you passed 26 three-man squads. You're losing your touch. Despite the fact he had thought that only 5 minutes before, Ibiki shook his head. We've got quite a few outstanding candidates this year. Bullshit. She screamed. I'll cut these guys in half by the next exam. Midgets. Follow me. Anko jumped out of the window, with all of the genin following her. Alright everyone, follow me to the second part of the exam. Anko shouted. 15 minutes later everyone was in front of training ground 44. Anko decided to tell them that the real name of this forest was the Forest of Death. Naruto scoffed, who cares? He muttered to no one in particular. Anko, hearing this through kunai'd him. Naruto could have dodged it, but decided to let it graze his cheek. Anko popped up behind him, and licked the blood off his face. She thought that he'd be scared, but actually he was smiling. You like this, don't you, Naruto? When he didn't say anything, she licked his cheek again, this time real slow. What's wrong with Naruto? Naruto decided to answer her question. Actually, I was just going to warn you that you might have AIDS. When she looked confused, he sighed before continuing. Oh come on, you've licked like 100 people's blood, and it's in your system. How do you know that one of those people didn't have AIDS? Anko didn't say anything. She was shocked she hadn't even thought about it. Anko decided that after the genins went into the forest, she'd go get a blood test. Haha, you have AIDS, guess who says that? After that little incident, Anko gave them some sheets telling them to sign them, so Konoha wouldn't be responsible for their deaths. Exam room. After Anko left, Ibiki Morino glanced at the broken glass. His comrades entered scattered across the floor, and grimaced. That woman's going to be the death of me. He mused. The number of examinees who passed the written exams was greater than the previous year, almost double. Hopefully the numbers will have dwindled by the time the one-on-one matches begin. The examiner took a cursory glance at the answer sheets he held in his hands, and out of boredom, decided to read some of them. Most of the questions in almost all of the papers were left unanswered, with a few exceptions. The Haruno girl he was hearing so much about had full marks, which wasn't really a surprise, because her academics had always been good. The Uchiha's paper had handwriting identical to one of the Chunin proctors who sat among the class. Ibiki glanced among the remaining batches of tests until his eyes came upon one name. Naruto Uzumaki. He read. From what the examiner remembered, that was the name of the boy who held the Kyuubi inside of him. He decided to read his answers. The scarred Jonin's eyes widened as he read the answers. And reread them again. And again. They had answered every single question correctly, but there was something about the way that he worded them that made the answers seem suspect. It took him a few minutes to realize that the boy's answers on some of the more technical questions were actually better and more plausible than what was written on the official correction sheet. Ibiki was very impressed. "Kami-sama," he said. He made a mental note to see Naruto's match, if only to see how the boy would fare. Grinning like a cat that caught a mouse, he hefted the answer sheets in one palm and walked out the room, whistling as he went. The Forest of Death. It has been a half hour since Team 7 arrived in the Forest of Death, and they were lost except Naruto until he stopped them. "What is it done?" Sasuke asked. "Listen, team bastard for a guy, bitch for a girl, I'm going to give you the scroll, and we'll split up." "Why would we do that?" "Because Sakura, if we split into two groups we will find an earth scroll quicker," replied Naruto. "Idiots like I would give you the real scroll." "Like I would do?" "That is a good idea for Adobe," interrupted Sasuke as he took the scroll from Naruto. "Yeah, what Sasuke-kun said." Sakura quickly agreed. "Okay, here's the plan. You and the temple will go to the left. When you see a cross, stop and go right to avoid the man-eating plants. Stay away from the caves, that's where the wolves are, and there is a tiger pit, so stay off the ground after you pass the caves. We'll meet up here in case you find anything," Naruto said to them. "Naruto, how do you know this?" asked Sakura. "I live here," he replied before running off, not noticing their shocked faces. After Naruto left, he encountered 5 tigers, but quickly killed them and sealed them into a scroll. Shinigami told him the tattoo appeared after he killed a human, animals, and clones don't count. After his battle with the tigers he ran into the grass nins, hearing their conversation. "And then I will give Sasuke-kun my curse seal, and he will come to me for power," said he. Grass nin. "This is a great plan for Orochimaru-sama," replied one of the grass nins. "Orochimaru? I'm going to kill him." "No, Naruto, don't attack him," Shinigami yelled. "Why? Your orders are for me to kill him," he yelled. "You're not strong enough." "What? Kid, you're at least high Chunin level, and he's a Sannin. They are as strong as the Hokage himself. Think before you act, dumbass." Before Naruto reflected his thoughts, he heard Orochimaru speak again. "I see we have an intruder, you two kill him," Orochimaru said to his minions. "Oh shit." Naruto stood and faced the grass nin, drawing his katana, settling once again into his previous stance. The grass nin gave Naruto a sneer. "I can see that you were killed, I can see it in your eyes. When it comes time for me to deliver your death blow, I'll make sure to give you the same courtesy." Naruto activated his Kurashigan, then the darkness flame swirled around Naruto, knocking his head off and smoke rising from his mask, making him look like Shinigami himself. "That kid, what are you?" the man asked in fear. Instead of answering, Naruto rushed at him, but the grass nin was ready. Their swords clashed together, sparking a blazing fire in the area. The nin jumped away, pulled out a few shuriken, threw it at Naruto, did some hand seals, and shouted Shadow Shuriken Jutsu, making 3 shuriken into 60. But Naruto was ready, and shouted Dance of the Crescent Moon, creating 3 shadow clones, and their swords extended, destroying 25, with the others missing him. "Now it's my turn, Shadow Shuriken Jutsu," Naruto shouted. Sheathing his sword, he threw 5 shuriken, and turned them into 500, shocking the grass nin. The grass nin shook out of his confusion, put his hands on the ground saying, "Earth style. Earth flip jutsu." A huge slab of earth rose from the ground. The whole earth wall got filled with shuriken, while the rest got stuck into the trees. "Damn it, how did you learn that you're an Uchiha?" asked the panting grass nin. "I'm no Uchiha." Naruto spat venomously. "Really? Well, it doesn't matter, now die," he said, drawing his katana. Naruto's sword clashed with the grass nins, and produced a few more sparks. Pivoting on his heel, he twirled clockwise around the man, crouching in the process. Using the momentum of his twirl, he brought his sword in a low arc across the man's kneecaps. The nin jumped, and did an axe kick to Naruto's head, stunning him. He then slashed in a horizontal arc, cutting from his chest to his hip. He then did some hand seals, and shouted, "Earth style. Mud Dragon Bomb." True to form, the man slammed his hands down on the ground, and seemed to grasp at the earth. The shape of a dragon's head rose out of the ground, and spat a lot of mud balls at Naruto. Naruto quickly recovered, and did some hand seals, inhaled, and yelled out, "Fire-style fireball jutsu." Shooting out a fireball the size of his house, the 2 jutsus slammed into each other, causing a massive amount of smoke and dust, obscuring everyone's vision. Except Naruto, with his Kurashigan activated, he could see through the dust, and charged at the grass nin, who was trying to find his way out of the dust. Unluckily for him, it was too late. Naruto's blade slammed into him, cutting him deeply across his chest. The force of the strike blew the nin into a tree, where he grimaced in pain, and slumped over, clutching his chest. Naruto sighed slightly, and began to walk over towards the grass nin, readying himself to give the final blow. Standing only a few meters in front of the heavily injured grass nin, Naruto knelt down, and brought his katana in front of him. "You're a good kid who has never seen a shinobi like you." I can see the man coughing a few times, splattering blood onto the ground. Wiping his mouth, he heaved in a deep breath. I can definitely see why I lost. Imagine me, losing to a kid. It's disgraceful. Naruto sighed and stood, bringing his hands into a cross grip on his katana, in a typical beheading stance. Naruto. My name's Naruto Namikaze. You asked earlier, and I figure that you should at least know the name of the person who killed you. The grassland looked up with a chagrined smile. Yeah. Kid, listen, make a name for yourself. That way when I tell everyone down in hell, he let forth another rattling cough, holding his chest area. The man breathed a deep sigh again, and looked up with an almost pleading expression. When I tell everyone in hell who killed me, at least they will know that I died from someone powerful, and not some dumbus. A stiff wind blew through the clearing, stirring up a few leaves, and ruffling Naruto's blonde and black hair. Yeah. I will do that. Before I kill you, I would like to know your name. The man coughed again, but said, my name is Raiden Mizuno of the Sound. Naruto then swept his katana in a diagonal arc across the man's neck, separating his head from his torso. The man's body slumped to the side, and his head hit the ground with a small thump. For a moment, everyone present was silent. Naruto released his cross grip on his katana, and let his sword hand rest loosely at his side. Naruto thought with a grimace that if any kill should be considered his first, it was this one. This was his first true shinobi kill. He had pitted his life against another man's life in Mortal Kombat, and came out on top. In the shinobi world, the one who lost was dead, and the one who won lived. The strong survived, the weak died. That was how shinobi lived. As much as Naruto hated to admit it, this was the shinobi way. He sighed, and took out a rag, cleaning it of any detritus, before sheathing it on his waist. Clap clap clap. Naruto turned around looking at the other grass now turned Soundnin, clapping for him. I must say, I'm quite impressed, he was one of our best swordsmen. Anyways, Orochimaru is always looking for new recruits, why don't join us? If not, Kamimuro Kagaya will be your executioner, said the Soundnin. Kamimuro was 5'8" with long white hair, green eyes with red mascara under his eyes, which is very weird, and he had red dots over his eyebrows. He wore baggy white yukata, black cargo pants, black shinobi sandals, and had that weird purple belt. I would never join that pedophile. Besides, if I do join, he would kill me after I'm all used up. Just like you, replied Naruto. Orochimaru-sama would never abandon me. He then pulled out a bone sword and charged into battle against Naruto. With Sasuke and Sakura. Kukikuku, such fire in those eyes, the androgynous grass nin hissed, you really are Itachi's little brother. How do you know that name? Sasuke shouted. The grass nin smiled unnaturally wide, and shot his tongue at Sasuke. The tongue hit the ground that Sasuke had been standing moments before, and produced a crater, as he jumped onto a branch. Sharingan. Sasuke muttered, as his eyes turned red, and a comma formed at each eye. The grass nin smiled wider, and said, Sasuke-kun, do you want the power to kill your brother? To be the best? I know you do, little boy, the ninja cooed, as he licked his lips. Man, he's really gay, am I right, everybody? Sasuke growled, knowing it was true, as he took out a demon wind shuriken, and threw it at the ninja. The grass nin laughed, as the shuriken flew past him, but stopped when the wire attached to the shuriken bound him to the tree. Triple windmill shuriken. Sasuke said, as he started making hand seals, and shouted, fire style. Dragon flame jutsu. As he blew a plume of fire that turned into a dragon made of fire out of his mouth. The fire followed the wires, and incinerated the tree. Creepily, after being hit by 3 streams of flames, the grass nin was unharmed after shedding snake skin. He did have a tear in his face though. The ninja laughed creepily, and tore the rest of his face off, leaving a very gay-looking guy. Sasuke twitched, and asked the figure. Who are you? Instead of answering, the freak decided to take a bite out of him literally. Now his whole body felt like one big welt, and it wasn't helping that he was suffering from chakra drain, due to using 2 of his most powerful muscles in quick succession. Kukikuku, not bad, Sasuke-kun, the perverted nin complimented in a disgustingly feminine manner. I'll be seeing you later. He stated, though of course, I doubt there'll be much need for concern. What did you do to Sasuke-kun, you freak? Sakura yelled, wincing, as the Sannin hurled an annoyed look her way. Really? Such rude words, what are they teaching young women these days? Orochimaru muttered, before disappearing from view, and delivering a fierce backhand to the girl's skull, though judging from your pitiful skills, I really shouldn't be that surprised. My name is Orochimaru, and Sasuke-kun will come to me. He said, as he disappeared into the ground. Back with Naruto. Naruto and Kamimuro were both panting, they both had some wounds, but nothing too serious. He was also taunting Kamimuro, saying that Orochimaru abandoned him. Orochimaru-sama would never leave me. He cares about me. No, he doesn't, he is just using you like he did to that man. Once he's done with you, he will get rid of you. Liar. Kamimuro then suddenly fell to his knees, and started to cough up blood. Not now, not here. Naruto slowly walked up to him. It's some sort of disease, isn't it? Kamimuro was shocked. How do you know? I can sense it. You don't have much longer until it completely kills you. Orochimaru will. Will what cure you? He can't find a known cure for what you have. And if there was, he would just steal your body after you were cured. He is just using you as a tool. Naruto could see that he was thinking over everything carefully. But I can change that. Naruto quickly formed some seals. Ninja art. Feigning sleep jutsu. Naruto's palm contacted Kamimuro's forehead, knocking him out cold. Naruto walked up and stood above the sleeping figure of Kamimuro and took him to his house. After Naruto knocked Kamimuro out, he decided to take him home. He was almost home, but then he heard a familiar scream. Shit, Hinata's in trouble. Oh man, I don't have time for this summoning, he shouted. In a big poof of smoke, a brown fox the size of a horse appeared. How may I serve you, Naruto-sama? Kenji, I need you to take Kamimuro to my house. And I need you to tell him to make himself at home. Yes, Naruto-sama. Naruto put Kamimuro on Kenji's back, then he went to save Hinata. A few minutes away, Gaara looked manically at teammate, his sand poured out of his gourd and wrapped it around Hinata. Sand coffin, he yelled. He was about to do sand burial, but his sand was cut in half by Naruto's katana. Gaara leaves Hinata alone. Naruto said calmly, while producing a huge amount of killing intent. This of course scared Temari, Kankuro, and teammate, while Gaara produced his own killing intent. After 15 minutes, both Naruto and Gaara quit, and the sand team left. Naruto turned around to face teammate, only to see Kiba out cold, Shino just standing there, and Hinata on her knees in tears. He quickly kneeled down to her level, gave her a hug saying, "It's okay Hinata-chan, I'll always protect you, no matter what." "Naruto-kun, thank you for saving me," she said. Naruto's only response was taking off his mask, making Hinata blush 20 shades of red, kissing her on the forehead, and making her faint. This made Naruto sigh. No matter what he did, she still fainted. He really needed to get her out of the Hyuga compound. "Please take Hinata-chan and the mutt to the tower," Naruto said. "I will," Shino replied, taking his teammates and going somewhere safe. Naruto's home. After the incident with Gaara, Naruto went to his house, only to see Kamimuro eating his ramen and petting Ami. "Ami seems to take a liking to you, she's not too friendly with strangers." At this, Ami perked up and jumped onto Naruto's shoulder. "Your summon told me to make myself at home," Kamimuro said. "Yay, now on to business. I can help you, but I need information on Orochimaru." After a few hours, Kamimuro told Naruto about the cursed seals, the Sound 4, after saying he quit it was the Sound 5, the plan to destroy Konoha, and use Sasuke Uchiha as his new vessel. He also told him where he came from, how he met Orochimaru, saying he was the last of his clan, and saying his bloodline limit was the Deadbone Pulse. After he finished, Naruto told him about his deal with Shinigami, his new bloodline limit, the Kyuubi being inside him, when he transferred him into his sword, and his childhood. They then knew they were not so different, and got along like brothers. Then they both went to bed after a long day. The next day, Naruto decided to talk with Ami. "So Ami, how have you been?" Naruto asked. "Lonely," she replied. "I'm sorry sweetheart, I've been very busy, training to protect you, and getting you a new mommy." "Really?" "Yeah, I have a clan to revive after all." They pretty much did this the entire day, and Kamimuro slept because of his illness. The next day, Kyuubi talked to him. "Hey kid, aren't you forgetting something?" Kyuubi asked. "Yeah, I forgot to eat breakfast." "No, it rhymes with eat even." "Nope, doesn't ring a bell." "The dumbest, it's Team 7, they're in trouble," Kyuubi yelled. "Oh shit, I forgot about them." "Daddy, what's wrong?" Ami asked. "Ami, Daddy has something important to do, I'll see you later, bye," Naruto said before running towards his teammate's chakra signature. "With Sakura. I got some parts from the manga, and guidelines, the rest is me." "Ha! You can barely move, what makes you think you can keep me from killing Sasuke?" Zaku taunted. "Say your prayers, bitch." As he was ready to finish her off, 3 others appeared in front of Sakura. Under other circumstances, Sakura would hate who had come to her rescue, but at this point she couldn't have been happier. "Ino. I just couldn't let you have all the fun," replied Ino. "Besides, I can't just let you win over Sasuke-kun by letting you play the heron. They're like cockroaches," Dosu commented. "That's what the hell were you two thinking, just interfering in a fight like this?" Chaoji yelled at Shikamaru and Ino. "Troublesome, as it is. It's even more troublesome if we don't help them out," Shikamaru said lazily. "Since Ino decided to step in, we, as men, just can't run away. Besides, we are a 3-man team. There isn't anything we can't do together," Ino replied. "But I'm not ready to die just yet," Chaoji pleaded as he tried to get away, only to be held in place by Shikamaru. "Shut up. We can't help that now," shouted Shikamaru. Zaku laughed at the big bone guy's actions. "Go ahead and run if you'd like, fatty. Never call a Nakamichi fat, you'll regret it." Both Ino and Shikamaru gasped and took a step back, the latter instantly letting go of Chaoji's scarf, as if he had been burned. Chaoji, on the other hand, stopped trying to run. "What did he say?" Chaoji asked in a menacing low whisper. "I'm not sure I heard him correctly." "I said you can go and run, fat ass," Zaku shouted. "I'm not fat. I'm big boned," Chaoji shouted, turning around abruptly. Now it's a fight for honor of Konoha and big bone people everywhere. Hooray for big bone people. Ino smirked. Now you made him mad. Troublesome Shikamaru said, shaking his head. Sakura, Ino said suddenly. Take care of those Sasuke-kun, right? The Ino Shikachou team is going to fight with everything we have. Ninja art. Expansion jutsu. Chaoji shouted as he ballooned out to an incredible size. Human boulder. Chaoji's limbs and head receded into the big bone guy's body as jets of steam streamed out from where each appendage disappeared to. He then began to spin at a very rapid velocity. What the hell? Zaku said, placing his hands out in front of him. Splicing airwaves. He shouted. Streams of air slumming straight into Chaoji's huge body. They were at a standstill until Zaku got frustrated and put more power into his. Chaoji then shot up into the air only to start rapidly descending on the spiky-haired Soundnin. Shit, because his spinning is ineffective. Those who saw Zaku's predicament and ran to save his partner. Shikamaru decided to step in at this point. I don't think so. Shadow Possession Jutsu. Nara Shadow launched out to capture Soundnin's shadow, holding him in place. Shadow Possession Jutsu success. Meanwhile, Zaku was just barely able to dodge Chaoji's attack. Dosu. What the hell are you doing? Kin shouted when she saw him not doing anything. Ino, take care of the woman. Shikamaru ordered. No problem, Shikamaru replied. Ino, just take care of my body. Mind transfer jutsu. Shikamaru caught Ino as she slumped to the ground. Chaoji had Zaku boxed in with no escape in sight. Kin. What are you doing? Zaku shouted. What's wrong? Dosu asked. Kin. Ino then held a kunai to her throat. This is it. If you move, she's dead. Unless you want us to do lasting harm to you guys, you'd better drop your scroll and go. She ordered them. Once we feel that you are a good distance away, we'll then release her. Zaku's response was to attack his teammate. Chaoji, shouted Kin. Ino. Choji intercepted the attack, taking the brunt of the damage, but Kin was sent flying back into the tree behind her. Ino's body started bleeding. Ino, Shikamaru shouted. Chaoji had returned to his normal size, his attack expired, and he was in no condition to continue the fight. What the hell? They attacked their own teammate, Kin. Ino said, as she got up. You took us far too lightly, Zaku said, smirking. Our purpose is not some dumb scroll or to even make it through the exam. Dosu added. It's Sasuke-kun. Shikamaru's shadow then recedes back to him, releasing Dosu. I see you have a set time limit, observed the newly freed Dosu. And the girl's judging from the blood. If we kill Kin, she dies as well. You would kill your own teammate? Shikamaru asked, surprised. If we have to, said Zaku, raising his hand towards Kin. I have to admit though, you almost had us. However, you let your guard down. Dosu informed them. Disgusting. Said another voice. Sakura looked up to see a cut and bruised Naruto, along with Nichi Hyuga and Tenten. And what are you going to do? Kill us. Ha ha ha. Zaku mocked. Niji smirked. It looks like we no longer have to. That's when everyone else felt it. A sickly powerful aura saturated the air around them, as Sasuke was doused in purple chakra. He abruptly stood up. Sasuke-kun, you're awake. Sakura said excitedly before becoming afraid. As Sasuke slowly stood, the purple chakra swirled around him. That's Sasuke-kun, said Kin. Ino, afraid of what had become of her longtime crush. Flame-like markings now ran down Ichiha's left arm and the left side of his face. Sakura, who did that to you? The curse sealed Dosu, and Naruto gasped. Sasuke-kun, those markings. Sakura began before being interrupted by Sasuke. Don't worry, I can feel the power surging inside of me. Sasuke said confidently. I'm stronger than I was before, and it's all because of him. I'm an Avenger. I will gain power by any means necessary, even at the cost of my own soul. I see, Dosu observed. The markings she mentioned earlier was Orochimaru-sama's own curse seal. I can't believe he was able to survive. You, Sakura, who did this to you? Sasuke demanded angrily. I did, Zaku said proudly. Sasuke turned his gaze towards the Soundnin, his now two Tomo Sharingan spinning wildly. Ino, get out of there, Shikamaru shouted. The blonde Kunoichi immediately complied, as Kin's body slumped to the ground. Choji, hide, now. Shikamaru, what's going on? Chaoji asked. I don't know, he answered. Sasuke's markings spread to cover his entire body. This is too much for us, we must leave now, said Dosu to Zaku. Whatever. He was half dead just a few minutes ago, said Zaku, aiming his arms at Sasuke. Zaku, stop. You don't understand. I will kill them all, shouted Zaku, ultrasonic airwaves. Everyone had to cover their faces, as Zaku struck Sasuke. Blown to pieces. Who was? Asked someone from behind Zaku. His eyes widened in realization, as he was knocked off his feet across the clearing. Zaku, shouted Dosu, but Sasuke was already attacking again. Fire style. Phoenix flower jutsu. Several fireballs were streaming at Zaku. Too easy. Splicing airwave. He shouted, overpowering the fireballs. Unfortunately for him, there were shuriken within the fireballs, and Zaku found himself getting sliced up pretty good, though he wasn't struck in any vital area. Before anyone could say or do anything, Zaku found himself doubled over, Sasuke's foot in the center of his back, his arms held fast behind him by the Uchiha. "This can't be Sasuke-kun," Ino said in denial. "What's happened to him?" asked Chaoji. Sasuke smirked. "You seem awfully proud of these arms." He began to apply pressure, and the bones in Zaku's arms began to crack and break. Stop it please," Zaku yelled out in pain. Sasuke began to pull harder, until there were 2 loud snaps of Sasuke crippling Zaku's arms. Sasuke then kicked Zaku down to the ground like common trash before turning towards Dosu. "I guess it's only you left. You had better be much more entertaining than the other guy," Sasuke said, still smirking sinisterly at the shaking Dosu. "Sasuke-kun, stop," Sakura finally yelled out, embracing the Uchiha in a full hug, tears streaming down her face. "Stop please." But her efforts were in vain, because Sasuke backhanded her in the face. "Alright, that's enough," Naruto shouted. "So the dobe wants a piece of me, well then bring it on." Naruto ran at Sasuke only to get punched in the stomach. Naruto then swiped at Sasuke's legs, knocking him down. He then got to his feet and shouted Shadow Clone Jutsu, creating 10 clones. One of his clones went to punch Sasuke, only to get punched in the chest, poofing out of existence. Sasuke then took out 5 kunai and shuriken. He threw them, taking out 5 clones and hitting the real Naruto. Crying out in pain, Naruto took 3 shuriken out of his left leg and took a kunai out of his left hand. Ignoring the pain, he ran at Sasuke. After finishing off the last clone, Sasuke kicked Naruto in his right knee, then he elbowed him in between the shoulders. With that, Sasuke knocked Naruto into the air with a solid kick to the chin, and then jumped after him, then appeared behind, and delivered a stunning backhand strike to the face. He wasn't finished with that thought, as he punched Naruto in the stomach, followed by a devastating spin-around kick to the chest. Sasuke called out Lion's Barrage as he finished the attack, knocking Naruto's mask off and breaking a lot of his bones. Everyone who was not unconscious couldn't believe what they were seeing. Sasuke Uchiha was killing his teammate and not showing any kind of mercy. "So Don, what do you think of my newfound power?" Naruto didn't answer. "Can't speak. Oh well, I guess I'm the better shinobi." Naruto still didn't answer. "With this power, I can kill that ice bitch." He didn't get a chance to finish when Naruto punched him in the jaw and sent him into a tree. His chakra was intense. Everybody minus Sasuke fell unconscious. His chakra was so intense it even scared Shinigami. Naruto stops. "If you don't stop the Jagan, I will." "Oh shit, it's too late," Shinigami yelled. Naruto stood up, his medical tape around his lower torso and left arm burned off. His wounds were already healing, leaving some scars. Naruto's spiky blonde hair began to stand straight up in the front, no longer covering his forehead. His eyes turned into the Kurashigan, but a 5th Tomo appeared. His nails grew longer into claws, and his whiskers became thicker. Then what appeared to be a slit across it appeared and began to slightly glow. The teal glow became more intense as it got whiter. When the slit fully opened, the glow subsided, revealing a 3rd eye much like Naruto's normal too. It was crimson in color, although it was slightly slitted. "I will not allow you to hurt Haku. I'm gonna kill you," Naruto shouted in a demonic voice. Naruto rushed Sasuke, punching him in the stomach. He then ricocheted off a tree, then kicked in the back of the leg. After that, he did the Shadow Clone Jutsu without any hand seals. He created 5 clones. One punched Sasuke in the face, using the other 4 kicked him in the chin and other body parts. Then Naruto jumped on the first clone's back, getting higher than Sasuke. He then gave him an axe kick in the back of the head, finishing the move Uzumaki Barrage, knocking Sasuke out. After 3 hours, Naruto fixed himself up by putting new medical tape around his lower torso and around the lower part of his left arm and hand. He put his forehead protector over his Jagan eye. He put his mask on, and he carved the leaf symbol on the forehead on his mask. While everyone was out, he wondered what the hell happened. The first minute Sasuke called Haku an ice bitch, and the next second his Kurashigan felt weird. Knows a new technique. He had an eye on his forehead, and everybody was unconscious. He tried to contact Shinigami and Kyuubi, but they weren't answering. So after another hour of pondering, everyone minus Sasuke, Zaku woke up. "You're strong. We cannot defeat you," Dosu said. Their teams are now in his hands, as he had taken it back from Zaku. "How about you just let us go for now," he said, putting down the scroll slowly. "I must check on some things first, but I promise you, should we face each other once more, I promise we will neither run nor hide." "Wait. What has Orochimaru done to Sasuke-kun?" Sakura demanded. "And why Sasuke-kun?" "I do not know. We were ordered to kill him," said Dosu, who then left with his teammates. After that, Team 10 and Team 9 guys team left, leaving Naruto alone because Sakura collapsed from exhaustion. "Great, now I have to carry their sorry ass. Oh well, Shadow Clone Jutsu," he shouted. He picked up Sasuke, and his clone picked up Sakura and went towards the tower. When Sasuke woke up, it was to find Naruto carrying him over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes. Another Naruto, running next to them, had Sakura in a similar position. "You awake, sleeping beauty?" He heard the blonde ask, causing him to moan in reply, as his head spun. "I feel like shit," he muttered honestly, feeling a bile rise in his mouth from those few words. "You puke on me, and I'll castrate you with your teeth," Naruto threatened. When the clone felt Sakura move and moaned, he accidentally hit her head off a branch, rendering the Kunoichi unconscious once more. As a result, the trip was relatively quiet until they got to the tower, where the irate Kunoichi finally regained consciousness, and would have made a scene if Sasuke did not tell her to shut it. The tower. As it was, they were trying to figure out the connection between the scrolls and the tapestry, when Sasuke noticed the smoke rising off the center, slapping them to the floor, causing a figure to appear in a cloud of smoke. "Iruka-sensei, nice to see you again," Naruto said. "Good to see you made it this far," the scarred man noted. "You have one more day in the exams, why don't you rest?" Naruto nodded, then he glanced at Sasuke. "Could you get a medic nin?" he asked. "Some snake freak attacked Sasuke in the woods, he's got this freaky hickey on his neck. Plus he's really beat up." Sasuke snorted and showed the mark to the worried Chunin, who agreed to have a medic sent in immediately. In the meantime, Naruto decided to catch up on his time with Hinata. Sakura glared at the blonde whom she blamed for stealing her precious time with Sasuke. Thanks for watching my video, leave a like if you enjoyed my video, and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more.